Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Conversations in Pop Culture. And before I introduce my guest, I do want to remind everybody that this episode is brought to you by my friend Preston Poulter. And Preston, right now, if you go to pocketjackcomics.com, you can get 3 PDFs of his comics so you can try it before you buy it. And because I run an eBay store, Pop Anime Comics Collectibles, everybody who orders something from me gets one of these in their order because Preston was gracious enough to send me about 50 copies. So that's all I have to say. And obviously, I have with me Joe Brusha, who is obviously one of the co-founders of Zenescope. I think he's the president of Zenescope right now. And he's doing a lot of stuff, a lot of writing, a lot of fun stuff that is going on. And you guys got a Kickstarter going on.
Yep. Kickstarter for our second trading card series, which is this one is Wonderland. So it's most of the cards, probably about 90% of them are all Wonderland artwork. So it's doing pretty well, and we're excited about it.
Yeah, so let's actually talk about this because this is the third trading card set to some degree. I mean, you did Grim Fairy,
yeah.
then you did the serial stuff, and then I mean, I consider this the canon trading card set, if we're gonna call it what it is. And then obviously Wonderland is 3. Obviously, you've done character packs. I think you did some Grim Tales of Terror stuff out there.
This is kind of series 4, I would say, actually, because we started off with the Tales of Terror series. I think it had like 50 cards, just 50 cards, and we only just did some packs. It had a couple different foils. It had, like it was all 13 cards, limited to different 13 series, like 13 Kara's cards, 13 foil cards, and it did pretty well. I mean, it sold out very quickly, but we didn't do a ton of them. They're probably
this is where it's interesting is that obviously trading cards, and we were speaking a little bit before, and I was showing you a really cool trade Turner card that I pulled out of 23 for the postseason that I unboxed yesterday. And obviously trading cards are bigger than ever, I think is a safe assumption. There's a lot of them out there. I think non-sports cards are bigger than ever, to be honest.
And that's what I've heard from a lot of dealers, and a lot of people at the shows. They're really, non-sports cards are doing really well.
And so what is that like? Because the first one, which was the Grim Fairy Tale stuff, obviously Grim Tales of Terror did well. Then you did the Kickstarter for Grim Fairy Tales. Wow, I can't speak today. Wow, it's been one of the.
Sorry, it's late. It's late here anyway.
It's late in Connecticut too. Yeah. It's been one of those days where it hasn't been a difficult day. It's just been a tiring day. But what is this like? Because I kind of think you guys hit the right time at the right moment. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and last week you said we were talking about cards before that, and before we got on, and sports cards. It's kind of like comics with me. It's funny because sports cards was something I was huge into as a kid, into my teenage years, just like I was with comics. And then I kind of got out of it for a little while, and then got back into it in like the early 90s because there was a lot of I was a huge Jordan fans trying to get Upper Deck came out with their first set of basketball, NBA basketball. I said just send a Jordan card in to be graded. We'll see what it comes back at. That I found an old Jordan card, but and then got back into it, and then kind of during the pandemic, I think everybody kind of got back into trading cards because there wasn't much to do, and that's when I got back in. Right before I got back into trading cards, one of my sports cards, one of my nephews wanted like football cards, and I went to a store, and it was like a box of, I was like, okay, let me get a box of cards. I was like, yeah, I'll spend $50. The guy's like, yeah, it's $700 or whatever. And I'm like, what? So I started looking at it, and then and I kind of got the fever. Like, I want to pull some, like you're talking about, pull some cool parallels, pull some auto cards. And
for those who don't know
parallels, I wish I would have bought somebody. I just had a Tyrese Maxey one up on my board, but I sent that one to be graded too.
Didn't he do like 50 points last night?
He did, like Saturday. Yeah. So, at New York Comic Con, the PSA was there, and they were doing like free on-site grading, like discounts. So I sent a bunch of cards up to get graded. But so then I started thinking, once we had, I saw how I was just so into it, and it's that ripping fever, getting into the packs, finding something cool, and I was like, why haven't we ever really done a set of trading cards? So we did the Tales of Terror set just as a kind of experiment. Say, let's see how this goes, and I'm trying to think of how many we had, how many we sold. Whatever it was gone like overnight. There wasn't a ton, but they sold out, and people seemed to really like them. So we went to Kickstarter for the Grim Fairy Tales, which is, I love Kickstarter. I think we went to talk about it last time I was on. I can't remember for sure, but Kickstarter to me is just the best, because you have no barrier to entries. Consumers get what they want. You pledge what you want. Yeah, we can put any product up there, and if we hit our goal, it sells, and it's awesome. And if it doesn't, people don't want it. You don't have to worry about it spending money on it. So yeah, and I think the Grim Fairy Tales one hit almost 100 grand, and we're sold out of that for the most part right now. So that's kind of what started it.
Yeah. And then obviously, I mean, let's even talk about this a little bit even further because obviously, one of the things with some of the Grimm Fairy Tales cards is some of those covers are just difficult to find. They're
Sure.
expensive to buy. People harbor books with Zenescope. Some books are very obtainable in Zenescope
Sure.
and some are
Sure.
not.
Sure.
And then even with Wonderland, there are things in Wonderland that I haven't even been able to get. And I'm obviously privileged running a business, running an eBay store.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
know people and I can't even get some of that stuff. And so, what is that like too? Because also, it's kind of tricky where I can afford a $20 card. I might not be able to afford a $400 cover. And
Yeah.
there's a big
Yeah.
difference between those two things, but I like having some form of that. And
Yeah.
it's tricky because and also some of this stuff, I mean, I don't know every artwork in Wonderland. So for me, there's going to be at least 20% of these cards I've never seen this artwork. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, well, so I just think, yeah, scarcity. You're talking about scarcity, and that's what our bread and butter is on a lot of these exclusives. We want them to appreciate in value. I hate to have somebody have to go out and spend $400 on a book, but at the same time, number one, because it's not going into my pocket usually, it's going into whoever bought it and collected it and bought two of them or whatever, wanted to sell one. But scarcity, we're just talking about the lenticulars in the Grim Fairy Tales series, and in this series, they're limited to 100 each. I didn't even think I should have grabbed a bunch of this stuff, but I'm at home and I'm not in the office, so I would be showing you all that stuff. But like the lenticulars are really cool. They're like almost 3D, and there's only 100 of them of each. There's 12 of them or 10 of them, and there's 100 of each. So there's only very limited, and they're cool. So and like we were talking about before, I love to get those scarce cards. I think I bought a Justin Jefferson like 1 of 18 signed card, and it's awesome, and it's going to go up in value, and you're like collecting it, you want it on your wall, but then in the back of your mind, if I got to flip this, I'm probably going to make some money if you pick the right one. So collectors and flippers, and the scarcity level is awesome, I think.
and then let's even talk about this a little bit further because obviously the Zenescope community, and I'm part of it. I'm obviously a VIP, which you can get on the Kickstarter. You can
Yeah,
absolutely get it on the Kickstarter at a discount. So which means you can do a bunch of fun stuff. And I'm like 400 points away from gold, guys. I'm 400 points. So I'm hoping by December. I think with this Kickstarter and Black Friday, I should clear it. I'm hoping, and if I'm 10 points short, I'm expecting a favor.
For sure. This interview gets you 10 points at least.
at least. But all jokes aside, but what is that like? Because obviously in the community itself, I think there's going to be a lot of trading, and I think this is very much a uniting event. And it sounds weird, and I'm not trying to make it like sound corny or anything, but I know that if I'm looking for cards, I think I can go into a few groups and think, hey, do you have this card? And somebody else has this card. And I think at one of the VIP events, there's a bunch of trading going on.
Yeah.
And so what is that like? Because that's also just a cool community thing. Taking away the economic value is that if somebody's looking for a swimsuit card and then I pulled 3 of those and then I'm looking for another card, what is that like? Because that's also very cool when you form a community beyond.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I think it was funny because at New York Comic Con, I think New York and San Diego, we brought the last of the Grim Fairy Tale stuff and pretty much sold it out at the shows. And guys were getting packs and just, guys and girls and fans just ripping them open. And then just like you said, one guy got like 2 of the same swimsuit cards and traded with his buddy right there. So, I think is we're all collectors at heart, even the people who aren't into pop culture as much. Like, I've collected so much shit in my life. It's like, so when you can trade, or you can, I remember trading baseball cards when I was a kid with my buddies and flipping. We used to do the thing where you flip them against the wall, and whoever got closer got to keep the cards and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. And I think building that community is what we're all about as a company. We want our guys to talk to each other. Like we're having the VIP event in April in Las Vegas again next year. And they've been really good hits. And like you said, the one that was in, I think it was Vegas again, or maybe New Orleans, I don't know, but people were opening packs and just trading and putting through, and they had their full binders. It's really awesome. It's good to see that.
Yeah, and then even going further into this too, because I was obviously speaking to Ralph, and I know that a bunch of people did not know who Zenescope was at New York Comic Con, but they're also saying I like cards. And
Yes.
this
Yeah.
is where this gets really interesting is that I view cards now, and I view that this is a pivotal moment and transforming a little bit of Zenescope, where some people might not care about comics, but they really like card collecting. It's kind of the same thing where Marvel did an anime set. And it's a really, really cool set because a bunch of people don't care about Marvel, but they want to see how Iron Man is going to look like as an anime. And so,
Yeah.
what is that like for you guys as far as your cards? Because so you may say, look, this is cool art. I don't know anything about Zenescope. I don't necessarily have a desire for the comic, but now you have created a product for a whole new generation that now is somewhat in your system because I think that's what good companies do sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, again, our artwork, I think we've had some really tremendous artists and tremendous pieces done, which are in this set and all our sets. And we sell a ton of art prints. We sell a ton of just products with just the art on it. And you see it more often now than you ever did. People just wearing art out. More Marvel shirts, more DC shirts. 10 years ago, maybe longer. Because I was just realizing it's the 15-year anniversary or whatever. But 20 years ago, or when we were growing up, and when I was collecting comics, nobody had them. One kid in school had a sweatshirt.
It was the type of thing where if you went into school right, you would get shoved in a locker if you're wearing a
right, right,
Batman
right,
shirt. I mean,
right,
I'm an anime weeboo,
right,
and I got made fun of, in elementary school, high school, not high school so much because I didn't care anymore in high school. It was great, but in middle school, people are like, "Why are you wearing this weird shirt, man?"
right,
Like,
right, right.
and now all these people are like, "Bro, you're into that too?" Like, let's
Yeah,
talk shop. It's weird, but there's been a culture shift.
yeah, and the artwork, not just ours, but art in general. I mean, and you don't find as where do you find as badass, cool artwork outside of the comic and anime and animation? Traditional artwork is cool, but it's different. And so I love that our artwork has been on so many things, and trading cards just is another thing that I think is awesome. I love to see the people with their binders and they have all the different art, whether they're in the comics or not. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah, and what I like is the fact that when somebody, and I would imagine, because obviously people find my show in unique ways, and obviously I've interviewed a variety of people, both in comics and maybe more adult, for lack of a better word.
Right.
And what happens is that people's like, "Yo, I came for this interview, but then I stayed for this one," and that's happened to me. And people are like, "I really enjoyed the way you did X," and I'm like, "That's cool." And so, what is that like for you guys? Because again, somebody might be saying, look, I'm really into non-sports cards. And I see that you have this. What's this? Cool. And then they buy one pack and then they say, cool, I want more. And then now they might not be necessarily so gun ho on picking up a comic from you guys, but they also might be coming back. And that's the thing is that there has to be something very cool where I guess you have to feel vindicated. It's
Yeah, I mean,
like,
yeah, vindication. My biggest thing, and we talked about this a couple times in the office recently because we're kind of like we're moving into a new office, and I want us to get refocused. And for me, it's like, why are we in business, right? It's not obviously it's to make money, but my best times being with Zenescope and being the owner is when somebody comes in and goes, "Oh, I read this book or I saw this piece of artwork and I thought it was awesome and it inspired me," or it was, so when you got guys coming to the booth and fans and they're opening the packs and this is the first thing. Again, like San Diego, New York, first time, like, oh wow, these are cards. I've never seen these before. Guys were coming back, especially serial cards. Like for whatever reason, those things go nuts. Buying 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 packs and just opening, blowing us out and just loving the artwork.
I
It's
bought a
cool.
bunch of
It's really
packs.
cool. Yeah.
I bought a bunch of packs where I had a 50% discount and I bought like
Yeah.
35 packs and I was like, yes. And
Good.
then and the crazy part of this is that out of those, I got a bunch of duplicates and I actually sold a bunch of them and it paid for 80% of the whole
Oh,
thing.
nice. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. The serial cards, there's only, we have a lot of them, and we're trying to do them as promos. So you don't have to always buy them. Like you get them for free with stuff. But there's a bunch of foils, but there's not a ton of content like with the Wonderland. So I think we're up to like 160 images. The serial cards, there's like maybe 50 images in those packs.
Yeah. There's some good stuff though. There's some good stuff. I mean, there's what is it? That there's 20 base, there's 20 nude, and then there's 4 or 5 like of these super rares, and then there's the icons and the cereal, right?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, I think there's 24 base, and I think there's 24 foils, which are like the variants of the bases, and then there's some of the Z-rated stuff, and there's icons, and then there's just we God, we with our first cards, and what was frustrating is we did cards probably we did like a set of like 8 character cards maybe 10 years ago, and they were just the cards. You could buy them individually, which is fine. But the cool part is opening the packs, right? Everybody wants to open the packs. So we finally found a company who could do everything that the major companies do: put them in packs, put them in boxes, and that's what you need, to kind of make this a little bit more special. And I want to rip the packs, right? Everybody does. What am I getting? What's the cool thing I'm going to find in here? So
It's also the idea that, I mean, this is what I want to do, and I'll be very honest. I would love to host on my channel with some Zenescope fans, all of us opening up our packs together. Because that to me is what makes this fun. I used to do that with certain people. Me and my friends used to do that where we would get together, have some alcohol. I mean, I can or cannot say that. And we're
yeah,
all just opening up packs and just BSing with each other.
yeah,
And I've also done that live on air with people where we've
that's
opened
cool.
up packs and like people are all over the world. And also I ship, cards all over the world. I just sent a card out to Australia for somebody. And so it's very cool for me because it's not anymore just your neighbor. It's a very global thing. And so obviously that's what I like. And so
Yeah,
I
I've thought about trying to do like I've done a couple of the breaks on like YouTube for sports cards, and I think we got to try and figure out how to do it. Maybe we'll have to figure out a way, because that is easy, right? Like I buy a team, so I buy the Eagles or whoever, the Sixers, Phillies. I buy one of my Phillies teams, or if I'm looking for a cool rookie, I buy, like what did I do last year? I think I was stupid. I think I was trying to get San Fran cards and get Trey Lance, who now isn't even there anymore. But um, how could we do that? Like do a break. We've been trying to think about doing it on, like, we did one or two on a live stream, but it just wasn't the same. So, but I think that's cool if you could do it, or we'd be happy to help out or get some.
I don't want to do a break. What I want to do is
Just rip them open, right? Yeah,
I want me and like 4 other people to just join, and we're all just ripping open, and we're just doing a round robin, opening up our own product. And we're
yeah,
all just talking about it. And it's like, oh, dude, you got that. Oh, snap, you got that.
yeah.
Because what's cool is that when you break it open, you can get those viral moments if you get the card. And
Right,
maybe
right,
I
right,
don't know if it's so much with this set, but I know with baseball, like I pulled the card where
right,
I've
right,
gotten a
right,
5 of 5, and it's like,
right,
oh my God, I just pulled a $450 card
right, right.
that was given to me for free. It's a very cool moment. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And on our, like I said, on our hobby boxes, you're going to get one sketch card. Who knows who the artist could be, right? You're going to get an auto card, and you get a lenticular. So, and which lenticular do you get? There's only 10 of them, and they're, like I said, limited to 100. So, and each sketch card is a unique one of one. So some of them are pretty cool.
let's actually talk about this because obviously I think it's the hobby box, right? And then there's
Yep. Yep.
I get confused because a hobby box in baseball is very different than a hobby
Yeah.
box
Yeah. Yeah.
with Zenescope. And I'm a baseball card guy for those who don't know. But what is that like? Because how many of those hobby boxes are out there? Because
There's
that's something that
300 hobby boxes, 300 hobby boxes, 20 packs per box, and each one is guaranteed, like I said, an auto, which is just one of the artists assigned a card, a sketch card, so original artwork, one of a kind, and a lenticular limited to 100. So 20 packs, and then you'll hit the other chase cards, the parallels, the foils. I forget what the breakdown is, but it's like, one in every 5 packs has a special hollow foil. So that's the hobby box. Then the regular blaster box has 6 packs. There's definitely parallels in there. I don't know that you're guaranteed. You're guaranteed like at least one foil or something like that. And then you have shots at all the other stuff. There's a cello packs, or CeeLo packs, as some of the people call them. They have a special pack inside of them. You're guaranteed at least one hollow foil in that pack. What else did we do for this one?
you
Hanger
have
box.
the hanger, yeah.
Hangers, yeah, they're smaller. They have 4 packs, I think, and a special hanger, box exclusives. Again, there's different foils. There's like Madness foils. There's some holiday foils. There's pinup foils.
So let's actually talk about this, because this is where this gets really fun. So I love the Dawn Matig,
Yeah.
one, and it's on the, I guess, Tumblr that you guys did a while ago. I think it's that's her artwork.
Which one? The Christmas one.
Yeah, the Christmas one.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing, and my mom hates it when I drink tea out of that. And that's why I do it whenever she has company over. It's fantastic.
Right. I'm just looking up too. I want to make sure I can answer your question, so but yeah, there's that. The Dawn did that one for sure.
So that's the one I want the most.
Let me see if that's one of the foil ones. Let me see. I'm going to tell you.
I think it is. I think it is.
You saw it on the site? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the one I'm aiming for, and I think that I'll trade with somebody for it, and I'm sure I'm probably gonna wind up upping my order anyway. But anyhow, what would be helpful is if I could up my order in backer kit, because it legitimately, this whole campaign ends on my credit card date, so that's the only reason why.
Yeah, you can do that for sure. Backer kit we're doing backer kit, so once it's over, all the products will be up on backer kit too with it when you go to check out.
Because I just need to service the debt of this whole project. That's like that's
okay.
Yeah,
so she is, and she'll have a cool foil background, that McTee cover. That's the one you're talking about, right?
That one, then also that's I'm looking for that book, but that book's really expensive.
Yeah.
Personally, and it's a hard book to track down. But there's also the one where it's on the Tumblr, and she's like holding like the bell up, like
the bell. Okay, yeah, I don't know if that one's. Let me see if we did.
I think it is. I think it's one of those 12.
Okay, it might be.
I think it's one of those 12 because
that's not it, is it? Is that it?
Yeah. That's the one.
That's the one. Okay, yeah. So that's
that's that one too. I'm so excited for this one because I love Christmas and I'm Jewish, which makes this even worse.
Well, there's 12 holiday. I mean, they're not. I don't know if they're all Christmas. I don't think we have any. I think we did one with the menorah once, but we just try and do. Yeah, we got all the. All these are the different. They're without the foil background, but they'll be really cool, and you can get them in the Madness packs. There's I think there's one guaranteed in each Madness pack. So there's 2 Madness packs in each Madness box.
So let's talk about that too, because I'm very confused because, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
In which that's because I know what the cello is, and I forget the cello has something, but I know the hanger has like a cyberpunk card in there.
Yes.
So I think like the hanger goes cyberpunk. I think the cello goes a different way.
Pinup, it goes with the pinups, yeah.
And so obviously,
and the Madness box we're calling them Holiday Madness. I don't know if you saw, if you look on the campaign and shit, I don't think I have it here. Maybe I do. The back of all the Madness cards. So the holiday ones, there's 12 forms, a picture, and there's what's the other ones? There's steampunk cards. Of course, I did no research on my own Kickstarter.
Is it cyberpunk or?
There's cyberpunk ones. There's the Dawn McTeague cyberpunk ones, but there's 2 of the card sets, both of the Madness sets. There's a Holiday Madness and a regular Madness that are just like a bunch of crazy cards. Those backs all connect, so you get like the Last Supper Wonderland picture. It's up on the thing. So if you get there's 8 in one set and 12 in the Holiday Madness, and they all form a picture on the back. So the backs of the cards are puzzle pieces.
So let's actually see. I like that too because I love connecting covers. I love back connecting covers, and I like the fact that this is where this gets really interesting because I think this is a step up. No offense on your first card.
Definitely is.
So, like, what is that like? Because that's fun. That also makes it desirable. That makes it want to be collected, and it also is gonna force more people, I guess, to want to pick up some of this stuff.
Yeah, and try and find them to complete the set. Being a completist, and try to see if I can find a picture of it for you. But yeah, no, that's part of the impetus of it. Let's you always want. I'm trying to think of some stuff that I've had that you want to collect all of them. Just get that series so that it's, if you have all 12, you have the picture, and that's the only way you get it. So being a completist, getting that full collection, it's going to be hard. You want these, we want our fans and you guys to have to go out and find them, trade, buy them on the secondary market. It shouldn't be easy, that's for sure.
So let's actually talk about this because what is there? 2 Madness packs
Yeah.
in the Madness box, and then
Yeah,
what
there's
is
2 Madness packs in the box, and each one has a holiday card. You have the Madness box also has either an auto or a sketch card, so you automatically get one of those. It's a 1 in 2 chance. So each box will have either an auto or a sketch, and then there's 2 foils in each box. There's 4 foils in each box. 2 of them are the Holiday Madness ones, and those boxes are limited to 300. So there's only 300 of them.
and then isn't there a cereal pack also in there,
Yeah,
right?
and there's a cereal pack. Yes,
And,
correct.
and then is there any other packs in there as well, or is it just
There's starter packs too. There's 2 starters, 2 Madness, and the cereal pack, or 3, maybe 3 starters. I'll let you know in 1 second. Let me look.
because again, my whole confusion on this is that I know what the blaster box is, where I think it's just 6 packs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Correct.
that's pretty straightforward. The hobby box is pretty straightforward. The cello is pretty straightforward. The hanger is pretty straightforward. And my whole confusion was the Madness, because I knew that was
Yeah,
added on. I
because
think
we're trying to make you mad. We want you to go crazy.
yes, exactly. I'm already confused enough in my life. I have enough problems as I said. It's a miracle I've made it this far.
So there's 3 regular packs, 3 starter packs in the Madness box, 2 Madness packs, which have the Holiday Madness cards, and there's 1 cereal pack. So you still get 6 packs. The only thing with the cereal pack is it's 4 cards.
And there's a reason why I'm asking on this, because I think it's really, really interesting with what you're doing, in which that I think, obviously, because you kept a bunch of stuff similar, where I think there were hanger packs and cello packs,
There
glass
are.
boxes, and hobby boxes. And I think the only new addition is the Madness.
Correct.
And I think it's very important because obviously I remember the first Grim Fairy Tales Kickstarter, which I think was a little over a year ago. And I think it's very important to keep things similar and keep things in a similar vein, but also say, hey, we're shifting things up a little bit here.
A little bit freshness, yeah, for sure.
Because that's my issue with card sets. I mean, there's a lot of cards out there. I mean, not to we're gonna take one step out of Zenescope, and I promise we're gonna come right back.
No, that's a problem.
Topps releases every set you could possibly imagine. They do baseball photography, they do heritage, but keep a lot of this stuff similar, where they have autographs, they have parallels, they have all that stuff in there, so that if you go from photograph and Topps black and white back to Topps chrome, you're going to have a relatively good idea where it's not too much of a jump. And I think that's really important in card collecting right now, is that you're building a base, because Grim Fairy Tales, that first Kickstarter, is a base position. And now we're going to, I guess, level 2. And then when you do something, I don't know what comes after Wonderland exactly. Maybe, I don't know if Robin or Van Helsing's going to get their own set at some point. Maybe.
For
but
sure.
Now we have a base position. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. You want to build on it. You want to keep the stuff that's good and that people like, and then add some new stuff. And for this, the first series for Grim Fairy Tales, we didn't have any auto cards. So and it's, you want to get those, I think they're cool. You get an autograph from one of our best artists or writers on the card. So that's an add to this that they didn't have for the first. We didn't have for the first series. So now you're going to get, if you buy a hobby box, you automatically get an autograph card. And then we're doing more foils. Like the foils seem to be really cool for the first set, and just change them. There's different foil backgrounds, and and then the Madness box. The thing was, it's Wonderland. We've always played with the Wonderland Madness. Let's add something into it, and that's what we did. So I think that the box is cool, the packs are cool, the new cards in it are really cool.
Did you also feel it's Wonderland as well? And even going into that, I mean, everybody knows Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
And so it's also, I feel, a different product, because somebody might not necessarily know Grim Fairy Tales.
Sure.
The same way, Alice in Wonderland, where I expect the Mad Hatter, I expect Alice, I expect Callie, I expect, the Red Queen, I expect a bunch of, Humpty, whatever is in there. And I
all the characters, we've got all that. I can't find that thing. I'm sorry. All the good characters, all the villains. It spans runs the whole gamut of what we've done with that series, and it's for fans. It's for people who just love Alice in Wonderland. Hopefully, we'll get a lot of people like that involved too, and they can see all this cool artwork that we've kind of had in our archives for the last. Wonderland's been out for, I think, 15 years too, maybe 14. So the last 15 years.
And even to go into that too, because obviously Zenescope is not the same company it was,
Sure.
18 years ago. I think, and hopefully it would not be, because that would not be good if you guys were
Right.
the same company. Um, but all jokes aside on that, obviously you've grown and you have obviously had fans who have been with you for 18 years, but you also have had fans who've been with you for 2 years.
Right.
And so
Right.
naturally they might know a little bit about Wonderland, but there's a lot of content with Wonderland, and I don't know everything about Wonderland. I
Sure.
read the trilogy. I have actually a signed copy of that omnibus and soft cover that you
Right.
signed, which is cool. Like it
Right.
says, I think Happy Wonderland in there, which I think is um,
Right.
it's cool. It was like the first virtual stream. It was great. That was about like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going fast, man. It did.
But what is that like? Because there's a bunch of stuff that people probably have not seen that are
Yeah,
going to be
I
seen.
think I think that's the coolest thing. What's amazing to me is how much content we have, and we'll go to a show, and there'll be somebody there who's like, "Hey, can you sign my books?" And they'll bring out a box from who knows how long ago, and I'll see covers that I've forgotten about, right? Like that I forgot, and I'll be like, "Wow, this is an awesome cover." So I gotta imagine for people who haven't seen some of this stuff and they're going through the cards or they're going through the books and they pull something like, "I've never seen this before. This is so cool." It's that new discovery kind of thing. Like I said, when I see some of the covers we've done, I'm like, "Shit, I completely forgot about this. This was an awesome
It-
cover."
it's it's one of my favorite things, and I tell this story, and it's with Dave Finch. I brought Dave Finch a copy of Cyberforce from Top Cow from 20 years ago, hollow
Yeah,
foil. Found it in like a comic store for $1. And
right,
so
right, right.
at Awesome Con, this was the same Awesome Con where Elias Chazudis did my Van Helsing,
Okay,
with firefighter Sexy Samantha.
right,
Um,
right.
great cover. And the funny story about that, for those who don't know, is that you guys actually like the post. I'm in your booth. You're showing me, and I'm like, yeah, I know that book because it's mine. Um, that was a very, very, very funny moment. That was
Yeah,
my first professional interaction with Zenescope, everybody.
yeah. Cool.
But one of the things is that Dave Finch started thumbing through the book because he didn't see it in 20 years. And so what is that like? Because, and this is where when I rip open these packs in March or April, I mean, there's going to be stuff that I have to be like, man, that's a really cool cover. Like, when did Greg Horn do that?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Because that, and also for me, is that a lot of these artists are on the circuit still.
yeah,
And it gets interesting because now it's an opportunity, I think more so with Wonderland, for me to go get a card autographed.
yeah, yeah. That's what we hope. It's cool. One of the things we're going to try and do as we move into our new building is really build up an archive database because, like I said, there's so much. We have so much content, 18 years of content, and Dave Franchini, our publisher, was trying to figure out like he's like when we get to cover number 10,000, we got to do something. I'm like, how are we even going to figure that out, man? Like it's crazy. We should have kept better records earlier, but we got to do that. And it's really cool. Like I said, you see some of these. The art is some of it's so timeless and it's so cool and it's been around for so long, but then you forget about it. So you want to make sure that we see it. So it's always cool. And to that point, like I'll read a book that I wrote 10 years ago and I have no idea what the hell I was doing or what I was saying. Like I completely forgot that I wrote this and I'm like, did I do that? It's not bad or it sucks. Why I just suck so bad at that book. But yeah, it's cool to rediscover that stuff. And hopefully we've got new fans discovering it. I mean, we're doing really well with new fans lately. So it's great. It's great to have people kind of discover this stuff and rediscover it.
Did you also feel, because a lot of this stuff is older stuff? Because I know J. Scott Campbell did some Wonderland. I know
Yeah.
Greg Horn did some Wonderland. Some of early ES was Wonderland, coming out of Top Cow. And that obviously, and I'm going to say something and hopefully, it's not going to offend anybody, but early Campbell, early E-Bass is worth more than new E-Bass and new Campbell, because that stuff was right when careers were starting to kick off and get hot. And a lot of that stuff is really hard to find. It's difficult. It's a pain in the ass to hunt down. Greg Horn Wonderland is worth more than a cover that Greg Horn released yesterday.
Right.
And it's nothing against Greg Horn. And as far as art goes, it's just the idea that now it's in a card. And so it's kind of like, did you also feel that it's going to reiterate and I guess pique interest? Because Wonderland, I don't think it's ever fallen out of style, but I would imagine it, is aggressive and then pulls back a little bit, just like everything else.
Yeah, and we published Heavy in Wonderland, and then it kind of got a little bit crazy and convoluted, so we pulled back out of it, and then we dabble back into it, and we'll probably do some more stuff next year. I think we're actually going to do a Wonderland Kickstarter for a comic next year. But yeah, anything like, again, we have such a long history. It's like, you look at some of the Marvel stuff, not what came out this weekend, but you look at some of the older stuff, and you go back and you're like, you didn't know about those stories, and so there's it's cool, and maybe you see an image and you're like, where's that from? And it's from an old X-Men book or whatever people go back and look for it. So we hope that happens. I hope that people see a Greg Horn cover, like, or the Campbell cover from
I just
Wonderland. Yeah,
I just did a first writing gig probably in about 4 years this weekend, on Monday. And I was writing about a book that Zen Intergalactic Ninja, which is an old book.
I remember that book. Yeah,
Steve Stern's great. Great, and I had Lamar Supreme on, and I think they did a 3-issue series in like '95.
Yeah.
Really cool interview, and Lamar was, I think, in like Norway when he did the interview with me.
Oh, cool.
And Steve was in LA, so I'm in Connecticut. Lamar's in Norway at 2 a.m, and Steve is like 3 hours ahead.
Right.
It's great interview, fantastic. The point is that that book is making a comeback now, and it's
I remember reading that. When was 95 the first year it came out?
87.
87, right? Okay, yeah. So that's when I bought it. 87 that's when I got the first one. Yeah, that was. I don't remember much about it. I know it piqued my interest, and I bought the first couple issues. Probably have them somewhere.
I don't know anything about it. I came across this and I'm like, man, this thing looks so dope.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for the Lamar Supreme stuff. And they did like some trading card stuff with that too. And like, I'm like, this thing is dope. Like because the 95, so issue 6, I think that they did in like 94 with Lamar Supreme, is one of the rarest books to find in comics.
Wow.
They just don't come up. And I think it's for like 900 or like 950 all day, and I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, that's the thing, man. Like you're saying, the Greg Horn stuff today isn't what it was, isn't what we did when we did it 10, 15, 20 years ago. But in 10, 15, 20 years, who knows what it's going to be worth, depending on, if we ever get a damn Wonderland movie out there, or TV show that we've almost had a couple times, and some of the other stuff we're working on.
Because isn't that what makes this interesting too? Is that cards also go up in value? Mm-hmm. And look, I know, and I obviously I was making this point, is that the serial cards, I have made money on the serial cards, and my only regret is that I had that 50% off coupon, and I did buy 2 Zenjamins. I did buy 2 of them with 50%, and my niece loves it. She loves it.
I hate to say this then, and not to interrupt you, but you might have to break the bank, because we're going to have a Cheshire Cat plushie with this Kickstarter coming out in the next couple days. It's only going to be $29.99, but it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, if I can do it in Backrocket, it's not the money. It's my whole problem is that my credit card cycle ends on the 22nd.
Yeah,
and so obviously I put money on my Apple Card. Right. I put money on this. I budgeted accordingly. I mean, there's been like 15 other things that I wanted to buy, and I made it crystal clear that you guys were at the top of the list.
Well, we appreciate that.
But I'm excited for it. And I think I was very much, and I had to skip the VIP event because I knew this is coming. So I had to make a choice. And hopefully I picked the right one. But not the point here. The virtual VIP event.
Yeah.
I'm probably coming up to Philly in 2024.
Good.
I'm not coming to Vegas. I'm not hopping on anytime soon. But what is that like too? Because obviously people love plushies.
It's. I mean, it's all good. I with the Cheshire Cat, we did it. God, what do we do it? How long ago did we do that? Have you seen the Cheshire Cat one?
Did you have like a prototype?
We did, yeah. We did a prototype probably.
Is that the one everybody wanted to offer to buy like every single stream for like an hour?
Yes. I only did one. I don't remember what happened with it. I know it looks awesome, and we did it maybe 10 years ago. It's been sitting around the office since then. But this is going to be the same thing. It'll be that thing. We're finally going to produce it. So just for Kickstarter. So I don't know. I think they're cool.
No, I like it, but even to talk about that, so that's going on this Kickstarter, or is it going to have its own?
Yes, it's going to be on this one. So it'll be an add-on. It'll be an add-on that you can add on to your pledge, either during the campaign or through BackerKit.
So what is that like? Because keeping things fresh, I think, is really, really important, and I think it's an complicated entity right now with Kickstarter, because I'm going to say something, and again, I might get flack for this, but you need to keep me entertained on Kickstarter, because I'll give you an example. I don't really care about we unlocked a stretch goal. I like your stretch goals, but that doesn't make me come back so quickly.
Gotcha.
I'm like, great, I'm getting my stretch goals. That's cool. But if you guys had no stretch goals, I'd be a little bummed out, but I wouldn't be devastated. And I would still back because I want the cards. But
that's a great point, because I back a lot of Kickstarters and I never even look at the stretch goals. I don't. And I didn't think about it, but that's a good point.
It depends what the stretch goal is. So if somebody says, "Hey, you could choose your metal card." So I backed Bad Donut, and Bad Donut had a lot of cool things. And if they reach like 35,000, you got to choose a metal card of any of the covers. I'm like, oh man, this is an awesome stretch goal.
Right.
Because it's I know how much metal cards cost to produce.
Yeah.
Produce my own, which somebody was supposed to distribute them around your office. I don't know if you did.
I don't think I ever got one. Who was Jason was supposed to?
I'm not naming names.
All right.
I'm not naming names.
I don't know if I got one. I don't think I did.
It's with a friend of mine, an up and coming cosplayer, DJ Croft, who's taking off like Storm. And it was a straight out equity deal where he wanted product, and so instead of charging me, he got half the metal cards, and it was a good deal for him.
Cool.
Good deal for me. It was great. It was beneficial. He cleaned the house with his metal cards.
Nice. Good.
When you're charging $12 a metal card at a con and it's your first con as a guest, you clean house, because no other cosplayer had metal cards. It was great.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Oh, it's stealing it. Oh man, if you're going to steal that idea now. But anyway, but my point is that because with Bad Donut, I was like, oh man, I want to get to 35,000. So I don't really care that we're getting bonus cards on this campaign, but if you guys did a metal card, I'd be interested.
I think there is a metal card on the. I don't know. I know we definitely have one as a stretch goal. I just don't know what level it's at. We were going to unlock the Cheshire Cat at a certain stretch goal, but we were just like, let's just put it out there for sale. So, I think to your point, it's kind of, you definitely want to keep it fresh. You definitely want to keep some cool things. I'm trying to think of one of the Kickstarters I backed where I just kept going back and they were unlocking new things. Not so much stretch goals, but hey, here's a new product. I think it was the Marvel Zombies game. Like they kept on, and I was like, oh shit, well, I want to get this. I want to get this. At the end of the day, you end up spending $500.
My whole thing is that Brian Polito does a good job, at least with stretch goals. He does a really good job. Where great at 80,000 it's X, but it's all tchotchkes. So like you get a beer koozie. Do I really need a beer koozie? Probably not.
Right.
But I still like the fact that I got one, or all of a sudden, great, everybody's covers now upgraded to thicker paper.
Right.
And so things like that. But like honestly, your stretch goals are not the reason that are making me come back. Now, on the first one, there was a lot of stuff that I was like, oh man, we're now playing real when you're at 50, 60, 70,000.
Right.
Great. But even with the cosplay book that you guys did, I didn't really care so much about the stretch goals.
Maybe we need to rethink it a little bit. But like I said, when I back anything on Kickstarter, I'm trying to think of any time I like the product, I back the product. Usually when I back something, I want the whole all in. I go for whatever the whole thing is. As long as it's not too expensive, I want all the stuff, because I feel like for our campaign, some of this stuff you're only going to get through Kickstarter or BackerKit. You're not going to be able to buy on the retail market. The blaster boxes, maybe the hobby boxes, but like the hanger boxes and the cellos sold out like crazy last time. So if you don't get them through Kickstarter, you're not going to get them most likely. So I like to have that Kickstarter exclusive stuff that you can only get through the crowdfunding.
No. I think it's important. I think without a doubt that exclusivity matters, and I don't disagree. But like, I didn't back this thing because of stretch goals.
Sure, sure.
I
Yeah, you like the product. Yeah.
and so for me, but there's been plenty of things that I back because of stretch goals. But like again, Bad Donut. If they reached 50,000, everybody would have been able to pick up a second copy of the book on that campaign, and they missed it by like $2,000.
Oh, that's
So,
tough.
so that's a really, really good stretch goal where I would, and I upgraded my pledge by $20, hoping to, and if a lot of other people did,
Yeah, yeah.
it would have been great. But like my point is that that's a great stretch goal that matters.
We'll
But
have to really think about it because we're going to expand Kickstarter next year. We're branching out into to like a couple different labels. Like we'll do Zenescope Comics, Zenescope Books. The big one's going to be the Tales of Terror film. We're going to do that hopefully in April, and that's one we're just really going to have to be smart about and give people good value on everything because we've got to hit a couple $100,000 to make that movie to finish it. Most likely, I mean, we'll probably get outside financing too, but we want to make sure that we don't want everybody to have to spend $1,000 to get a DVD and come to a cast party or something. So we just got to be careful and make sure that we give some good value and have good stretch goals.
let's actually talk about that too,
Sure.
because I feel at $200, a hobby box is pretty good value.
Yeah,
I
definitely, definitely.
I think it's a little bit on the high end as far as cards. I think it is a big jump, but I think if you're a diehard fan and you're a card collector, you're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, with that too, and sorry to interrupt you, but like the sketch card itself is probably worth 50 without, depending on who it is, but it's at least
I don't know
worth.
who that is. I don't know who that is. He's probably a Pokemon lover. So
But yeah, so and then the auto card is another 25 at least. So and then lenticular too. So you're getting half your value right out of the hit card.
no. The reason why I say this is that $200 for a card set is a lot of money.
Yeah,
And I have no problem where I bought a Topps Cosmic Chrome set. That is a $250 for 80 cards hobby box. So I'm well aware of spending money. I understand not everybody is like me, where in a blink of an eye, when Topps Cosmic Chrome came out, I dropped $500. I flipped one of the boxes. I understand that. I've spent real money on cards.
Right.
But I also understand that there's people who don't want to spend $200. And so that's why I say it is expensive. I'm not saying it's not worth the value. I'm just saying that this is a big boy.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it is. And I forget what we had the cosplay books at, but it's all, play the Shan game. No more. I lost my ass at the VIP event to Dave Wall in the Shan game. So that's I'm done with the Shan game, I think, for a little while.
Well, I could bring in a bunch of people to play that game, and a lot of fun. We could bring Dave Wall, and we could bring Sia Ullman. We could bring Patton. Oh,
you never know. You got to bring Patton if you're playing the Shan game. You never know what that guy's going to say when it comes to sports. He's got me so twisted.
Don't worry, Pat. Black Friday, pick the Jets, and you'll be fine. No. That's all I'm saying is that this is a big boy hobby box. Is all I'm saying.
I agree with you.
And I think it's worth it.
We sold out of the last ones, and they were flipping on. They were flipping on eBay for twice as much as we were selling them for. I think they're still going for at least $100 over what we sold them for on the thing. Yeah. So it is good value for sure. It's big boy, but it's good value.
I don't disagree in it. And then I think blasters are reasonable. I think blasters are a fair price because also it's not Topps, and I'll say this the nicest way possible is that you are not a small indie guy doing a card set, but you're also not a $1 billion corporation.
Sure. Yeah.
And so obviously I understand. I say this, and hopefully I'm not going to get in too much trouble, but I understand that I might have to pay a little bit more because you are not producing them the way Topps produces a box. And it's also limited. So, but I don't think $50 is out of normal, where I think it's in par with like a Topps Cosmic Chrome set or a Topps Chrome set.
Cool. Yeah, and the Madness box is $75, but again, you're getting an auto or sketch guaranteed, and you're getting a couple of those Madness cards. So, again, a little bit more expensive, but good value too.
No, I agree. I agree. And then obviously, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. And then there's also add-ons where the comic covers are nice add-ons. And then I don't know if we hit the challenge coin add-on yet. Is that at 75? I want
I
to
think
say.
it's 75. Yeah, I don't think we hit that yet.
And that's what a
They
$10.
were very popular with the hopefully we'll hit it. I mean, they were very popular with the cosplay book that we did. It was and the art books. People love those coins. So we'll hit it.
I like them. I like them. I like the Pokemon camp coins. Those are good. I like them a lot.
Cool.
I'm hoping that I think we have Charmander. I think we got Squirtle. I'm pretty sure Bulbasaur is going to be next in some type of box.
Well, if not, we did them all. We did all from last year, so they're going to start coming out in their own individual. We're selling pouches that'll have them in them. So blind pouches of all those coins.
Well, that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be a good thing. I'm probably gonna sit that one out because I'm poor enough.
Well, they won't be a Kickstarter. They'll just be up on the website. So anybody wants to buy them, they can buy them.
I will again probably sit that out because I'm poor. Yeah. Let's just let Pat shell.
Yep. He did it. He did it. I know he did it at one. He did an opening at one of the VIP events too. But yep, it is fun.
So I know we touched upon this, and obviously, I mean, there's some cool stretch goals. I actually like the way you did the cards this round because the first one you did, I think you did all the normal cards first, and then you did the foils secondary. And I actually like doing the Alice because I think all the cards are the covers that they get.
There's a couple of interior splash pages, but most of them are covers.
I mentioned the stretch goals. I mean,
yeah, they're all covers. Yeah.
I don't think that's a secret. I mean, I think if you didn't figure that out, I'm sorry. If I ruined your day, I'm sorry.
No secret to it all.
It's called receptiveness and it's called paying attention. But if you didn't figure it out, I got another spoiler for you. Dumbledore dies. I know. Too soon, guys. Too soon. I know. But I actually like the fact that you stretch goal 1 was the card. That maybe it was one, and then immediately after was the foil. I actually like that system a lot better personally because I now know I'm getting the regular and I'm getting the foil. And I think it's also safe to assume that I'm getting 2 cards getting the regular because I thought on the Grim Tales of Terror, and I can't be the only one. If I'm the only one, I will take the L. I thought that the card got upgraded to a foil.
Oh, but you got both, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was getting upgraded. I didn't think. I'm like, oh, I got 12 cards. Like, oh, this is cool. Like, I had a very different reading of that Kickstarter.
Yeah, no, I think each we try to do it. Each one will be an individual thing. So if it's regular card, then foil card or whatever. But no upgrades, I don't think, on our stretch goals.
Because I would have been happy with the upgrade. I would have been like, oh, good. I thought it was an upgrade completely. Because I know that these are the green border ones, right?
Yes.
Now this is becoming also a set because I think the Super Bros also had one from the cosplay book.
I have to think. I have to look. I think it did. Yeah. I know Jen who runs our Kickstarters she throws all these cards in there. So and I'm losing my mind. I can't remember what they are.
This gets really interesting now. At least the way I see it is that now there's like 15 different sets within a set.
Yeah, and as we open up more Kickstarters, put those things in backer kit, the people who get on Kickstarter and help pledge, they'll be able to just buy them out of backer kit probably. We'll put those up there if there's extras. There's not many, but at least you can have a chance to get some if you're back in the projects.
So, because that's what's so interesting is that at this point now we have, Grim Tales of Terror, then we got the base set, the first base set, then we got the serials, now we got Wonderland, now we got those green sets, and then it's just going to continue. And this is where this is so interesting because it's becoming very much like Topps Heritage or Topps Chrome or Topps Series 1 or Topps Black and White or, Topps Sterling, which is a super expensive set. I mean, that set's like $12.50 for like 3 cards. It's sick. It's sick.
They can get pricey, man.
I mean, oh man, Topps Sterling is just I've seen it, and I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to even touch the box. I'm like, no, thank you.
You can go broke real quick.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. But I do want to touch upon one thing outside of this and just talk
Sure.
about general Kickstarter, because I think it's really interesting. Is that, and I think we were talking about it a little bit, and obviously I was speaking with Sia Ohm before you, and obviously I speak to a lot of people. But where do you see Kickstarter going? Because I see people doing really well on Kickstarter. I see people struggling. I see people having real issues, and I have a lot of friends on the indie front who are getting their asses handed to them, and they would normally fund in a week, and it's taking them 3 weeks to fund. And this campaign, I thought, I'm going to say this honestly, I thought it would be at 80 by now. And
Yeah, we did too. I think the economy is tough right now. I think that's hurting stuff for sure. There's a lot of competition out there. You got to differentiate yourself. I mean, I think time will tell with us, because like I said, we're going to expand the Kickstarter a little bit more next year to try and get some comics up on there, because comic distribution right now just isn't great. It's Diamond has I don't know what's going on with them.
Kind of sucks. It's rough.
Yeah, it's tough, and you'd hate to see the retailers go out of business or continue to do not poorly. You want to see them do well. I love a brick and mortar comic store. Growing up.
I mean, I'll ask you this too, because
Yeah.
I've been in a bunch of debates on this, and I don't want to see Marvel and DC fail. And I understand that they are some competition to you, but I also think that they are essential, because comic shops make 50% of their money with Marvel and DC. So how can you be in a comic shop if Marvel and DC don't make it, and then other companies, if they're failing, don't step up to fill that vacuum? And to me,
Yeah.
that seems to be the problem here, is that great if people aren't buying DC and Marvel, and a comic shop can't make its rent and make its, I guess, nut, for lack of a better word. And then all the indies and everybody else and second, third, fourth tier publishing isn't stepping up to fill that gap. To me, that's where failure is occurring. And that's just what I'm seeing as a consumer.
Yeah, I've had, this is a long, we could probably talk for 3 hours about this stuff, but
I've been done about this. That's why.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
very
I have huge disappointment in the comic book industry over the last couple of years. I think the Marvel and DC, it's the same thing they're suffering from. I've heard a little bit about this movie. They're going for quantity over quality. Marvel doesn't care if, at this point, Disney and Warner Brothers don't care how many comics they sell. They don't need to sell the comics. And so what's happening, I feel, is there's just too much out there. There's not enough quality product. And when you have that, you don't have people going in and buying it. And it also hurts guys like us, because there's too much of a glut of bad comics on the shelves that are squeezing us out. So I don't know. I think the best thing that could happen in my mind is if Marvel and DC start licensing. Stop publishing, license it out
So I'll throw something out there. My favorite thing that Disney's done is that Dynamite has Scar and has all these Disney villains, and it's fucking great. It's amazing. They're doing Lilo and Stitch, and David Nakayama has a cover, and it's sick. And I'm like, I love Lilo and Stitch. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. I'm like, man, I'm going to be buying this comic, and it's Dynamite. And I'm like, I don't really care. If you make fun of me, everybody, I will happily take the L. If I get made fun of tomorrow night, if anyone wants to take a pitch shot at me at a stream, I don't know what's going on tomorrow night, more than happy to take the L. But I'm so excited because it's written well.
Yeah, that's what needs to happen, because when you're if Marvel and DC don't care because they don't need to, right? Like they should. We were talking about, I just don't understand how every convenience store in the country, when a Captain America movie comes out, doesn't have a $1.99 Captain America comic to get people, because they just don't care. You know what I mean? So if you have a licensor, they're going to care. They need to make money. They need to make good product, and they want to see good product out there. And that'll reinvigorate the industry.
This is what you want. I just want 7-Eleven to have a Captain America slushie.
Yeah, right.
That's what I want. I just want a Captain America slushie.
I got my first comic in a Wawa. Like Wawa or 7-Eleven, one of them, and it's you get the spinner rack, and it was
oh my god.
Yeah, it's funny, man. We were just talking about it today about 7-Eleven and in the office. I don't know if they're going to go back to it, but they should. They should have.
See, they don't need comics. What they really need is they need to have Captain America slushie in 7-Eleven. I'm telling you.
They had to have done that for one of the movies. They didn't do it. They must
I'm
have.
surprised. If they did it for Captain Marvel, I would have bought it. I'd been like,
Yeah.
here we go.
With the collectible cup, right? You get your slushy collectible Captain America cup. Like you got it.
And you get the straw. See, the key is the straw.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, and your cap is a shield. The cup cap is a shield. That's what they're right there. Bam, you got me. But
and then you sell the comic. See, you need to package it together because you need to create an event.
Or you get a free slushie when you buy the comic, right? Like you're free
$4. I'll pay $4 for a slushie in the comic.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, they're not doing any of that shit. And it's like, I don't know. Kind of sucks, but I think that's what's gonna.
I agree because Ben Dunn put this up out on Facebook, and this is where this is really interesting. Is that my challenge to Ben was saying that works if you get your price down. The price has to be on $3 or less.
They can do it, and what do they care? They're already losing money on the comics in the comic stores, right? Like if whatever their bottom run comics are, they're losing a shit ton of money.
My point is that this conversation is disingenuous without making it $1.99 or $3.
Yeah.
Because if you put it at $10, because when people talk about comics on a spinner rack, you can't be selling a $10 spinner rack comic.
No, you
that doesn't work. And that's the part of the conversation that is being pushed out on Facebook extensively and on Twitter. The other part, which you just mentioned, is where that conversation becomes legitimate. And that's the issue right now with comics. And I'll be very honest. I mean, I don't really think Warner Brothers, I don't know much about Disney. Disney's actually doing a lot of crazy shit right now, which is really interesting. And Warner Brothers Discovery doesn't really care about comics because right now they're in a bidding war for the NBA rights.
Yeah.
Which I hate to say it, but if you had to pick between DC Comics and the NBA, you're going to put your focus on the NBA because there's a chance they're going to lose it to NBC.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I do hope it. Yeah, I hope the comic stores are here for a long time.
I mean, the reason why I bring it up is not to bring up a competitor or an issue, but it's if all of a sudden comic shops are getting destroyed and they put 50% of their eggs in one basket, how the hell does everybody else get into that? Because now I'm a business and I run an eBay business and I'm doing okay, but I'm getting my ass kicked a little bit, but I don't carry Marvel or DC. Right. And then the second I stopped carrying Marvel, DC, and I started diversifying my merch and I put merch that works well together, I started making real money. But because Marvel, and look, I'll pick up a variant of Marvel and DC here and there, but it is not a selling through point.
Yeah.
Well,
our business has really transformed. Unfortunately, I don't know, unfortunately, because I love the stores, but it's like everything else. It's a lot of direct to consumer now. It's a lot of direct to consumer business, and that's the way of the world. Unfortunately, in some ways, you can reach anybody anywhere in the world in 1 second with your product, and they don't have to go to a store to get it. So good and bad. So
I mean, look, I ship internationally. I mean, I just sent my first product out to Australia.
Yeah.
And it's great. Cheap. I don't know what they paid because I do it through eBay.
Yeah, it's not cheap. We have a lot of Australian customers, and they're, it's a lot of money to ship to Australia. Get that shit down under ain't cheap.
I mean, Canada is expensive. I just bought a book from Canada. It was $30, and the book was $90, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
son of a bitch. But I don't really ship all that international. But I love shipping. Like I shipped to Denmark. I like shipping to the UK. Never shipped anything to Australia. I'm super excited for it. And it's a card, and it's Mandy Roseville of people. She's great. but that's that. I mean, I love it, and I'm probably gonna try to develop a relationship with this guy down in Australia because I'm curious his whole thing. But yeah, no, I mean, I completely get it, and I'm not doing anything what you guys are doing. I run a small little comic business, selling a lot of variants, selling a lot of product, a little bit of Zenescope, and
good.
Oh wow. That's actually not. That's what this guy Space Between says. I don't know who that is.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I thought it was going to be more like 50.
Yeah, no, 30. Jesus, but then if you're shipping a $15 graphic novel, I mean that's crazy. But our guys will buy they buy a shit ton of stuff when they're getting to Australia so that they make it worth it. But it's not cheap.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, that's the thing too, is that honestly, like, there's a reason why with the Kickstarter that I backed up in Canada, I waited until the omnibus came out because if I'm buying a $40 two comics, it's still gonna be $30. But
Yeah,
if I buy an omnibus, I'm buying the whole thing. So if I lived in Canada, my order to Zenescope would be $600.
right,
It
right.
would have to be
We have guys too. Yeah, yeah.
because otherwise it would make no sense for me to buy a $5 card pack. Like,
Right,
yeah.
right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, it is what it is. The reason why I ask all this is that I am curious because obviously I have a very different view on the whole industry right now. I haven't produced anything in the industry, and I am a spectator. But I foresee problems in the next year. I really do. I foresee two things are going to happen. We're going to have a stock market correction, which is what I'm hoping for. And not to get too economical and political, I actually think having a correction in the market will be beneficial and will facilitate another 8-year bull run in 18 months after the correction, which will be more beneficial for more Americans, for more people in the world.
Sure.
I think a reverse stock market crash will be detrimental to the whole world.
Yeah.
And it will be beneficial to me because I have a lot of assets and I'm going to be just fine either way. But I think it's actually going to collapse things even worse the next time. And I would rather suffer the 18 months and have it be turmoil and just get a life jacket than have another 15-year bull run and then have the whole thing go down by 80%.
Right. Yeah.
That's not good for comics. That's not good for anything.
No. Definitely not.
So I mean that's what I see, and I'll be honest, comics are a leisure item. They are not a necessity, and so I've already, I mean, in my business, I factored in the next 18 months as being a down year. And
Well,
so
hopefully it's not too down. The one good thing about comics is they're on the lower end of that, spectrum of price wise. So, people when last time when the housing market collapsed, it was stuff like pool tables and indoor recreation because people stopped building their rooms. I was in that business. So, hopefully comics, they're supposed to be, recession proof in a way. I don't know that they are anymore, but it is on the lower end of the
this is a
electronic.
$5 book, everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, so this is a $5 book. I'm not saying that if you can't pay your mortgage or you have no electricity in your house, you should not be buying this.
Right, right.
But if you want something to entertain you, it's a $5 book.
Correct.
It could be yours for free if you buy some from my store. It's all how you look at it. But my point is that I think most books from you guys is maybe $5 to $7.
Yeah, they're in the $3 to $7 area depending on the size. But our regular monthlies are $3, $3.99.
And so obviously, I mean, there you go in that regard where $8 for a book that's 72 pages, it's not that bad, all things considering. If that's your entertainment and maybe you can't buy 4 of them, but you could buy 2.
Sure. Yep. That's what we hope.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's everything that I got. But obviously, I do want to give you a chance to promote yourself. I don't know if you have predictions for Monday Night Football, if you'd like to say that, because that can go either way. It can go either way.
Yeah, I mean, Andy Reid coming off buys is usually pretty good, especially when he was with his time with Philly. It's in Kansas City.
So
No.
let's go through 3 things. Let's go through 3 things here. So I'm not going to ask you who's going to win. Will Taylor Swift be there?
I hope the fuck not. Jesus, I'm tired of seeing her on the goddamn TV. It's very annoying. Very annoying. Like, I actually kind of like Taylor Swift.
Are you not a Swiftie?
Not a Swiftie. I didn't like her. I watch it, but
I'm sure you guys know after we get off the air, he's gonna be like, I'm a total Swiftie guy. Totally. I just don't want to
see her. I don't want to see her 17 times in the box, especially if Travis Kelce scores, right, and we're losing. I'm going to start breaking shit because I don't want to see that. And if they happen to both make it to the Super Bowl again, I don't know what I'm going to do because it will not be good if the Eagles lose and Taylor Swift is there dancing around.
I'll be honest. I wouldn't mind seeing the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I don't want to see Kansas City. I like Kansas City. I don't like rematches. I'll be really honest. Like I was really, really excited that the Phillies lost to the Diamondbacks, and here's why. I didn't want a rematch between Houston and
the Phillies. Yeah, okay. I was not happy at all that the Phillies lost.
It wasn't against Yeah,
no, that's me. I don't think Kansas City can make it. I think the NFC is down to I would say the Lions, but either San Fran or the Eagles will beat the Lions home or away. It's going to be between the Eagles and San Fran as long as they stay healthy. And then I think the AFC is getting a little bit more wide open too, but I don't think it's tough to get back, and the AFC is loaded. So I don't see Kansas City making it. That was my prediction at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, but I also predicted Buffalo, and they're sucking right now. So.
Yeah. I am not putting money on Buffalo ever again. No, Buffalo's done well for me, but that Eagles Jets game, man, I think cost me like $50.
Yeah,
that was bad. That shocked the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's the NFL, man. I just keep saying it's the NFL. I mean, I think the Eagles will probably win Monday night. I don't know. I think it's going to be a little bit of a revenge game. They're gonna want to take care of business. I hope they win. We got a rough road coming up. I'm not as worried about Buffalo, but I think we got San Fran, Cowboys again, and Buffalo. There's somebody else in there, Seattle, but they don't scare me, I think. So we got to win at least two of them.
Right? You got the Giants twice at the end. Watch this. Get this, right? Here's what's going to happen. The Eagles are going to dominate, and then at the very end, they're going to lose to the Giants, and it's going to be like, what the fuck just happened?
Well, I'll tell you what. They play the Giants on Christmas Day, so last year the Eagles played the Cowboys on New Year's Day, and it ruined my day because they lost. So, and they were in it. And Minshew was quarterback, and so Hurts didn't play, but we still should have won the game. And it was just like maybe.
I'll put it this way, right? So I like gambling, and the Eagles have won me a lot of money. They lost like $50. But I am not touching the Kansas City Eagles game. I'm Monday Night Football. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have a good time with it, but I'm not touching it.
I'm going to see what the spread is right now. I'm going to say the spread is 3.5. Let's see.
I'm not touching it.
I'll tell you if I watch it. I got to look at my NBA bets for NFL. Let's see.
Oh my God, the Nuggets though, they're great. They're great.
Oh yeah, he said 2.5. So the Eagles are getting 2.5. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it because I don't feel comfortable. The name of the game is to try to win, right? So like I would announce that I'm coming to Philly for the VIP event, but I would like to sell tickets. And I think you guys would like to sell tickets. But I'll tell you what game I am betting on. So Black Friday, Jets Dolphins. All the way on the Dolphins. All the way on the
Miami's gonna destroy them. I think you're gonna take the Dolphins.
Without a doubt. I was shocked in which I thought the Jets played really well against the Raiders. I did. I thought
they didn't play bad.
Let me put it this way: I'm a Giants fan, so I'm fucked.
Yeah. They're very, very, very bad. I wonder if they're gonna fire Dable. They're not gonna. They're gonna. It's Daniel Jones is not the guy, and
this is what they need to do. So the Raiders blew up the whole team, and the Giants need to blow up the whole team. And when they do that, they need to get some cheerleaders, and we'll be good. It's time to get a little flashy, guys. That's all I'm going to say.
They got to do something because they have not been good in a long time.
But when the Giants play, they're playing the Commanders. That game can go either way too.
It's going to be ugly. It might be like a 6-3 final. I don't even know.
I don't want to touch that game either. I have no desire to touch that game.
I would. No, that's ugly. It's going to be ugly.
I'm looking forward to Monday Night Football. I don't even know who's playing tomorrow night. Who's playing
tomorrow? Is Baltimore. That'll be a good game. It's Baltimore and Cincinnati.
Oh, man, that's tough.
Yeah, so it should be a good game. I don't know if all the Cincinnati receivers are banged up, so I don't know who's playing. But I would, I'm not a Lamar Jackson fan. I think he's overrated. I think Cincinnati will win that game.
Is that Joe Cool?
So cool. Yeah. Let's see what the line is on that one. Take a quick look. It's so easy. Bengals are getting 3.5 in Baltimore. So I don't know.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to speak to my coworker who I turned into a degenerate gambler like myself. Hey, we're corrupting the office one by one. But yeah, no, I'm very excited for Black Friday. Maybe it'll pay for my Cheshire cat.
There you go. There you go.
But obviously, I think I kept you long enough, and obviously, I appreciate you coming on. Obviously, I'm
Thanks
super
for having me.
I would have backed this campaign regardless if you or Ralph didn't come on. I'm super excited. I'm super excited for it, and I don't back many Kickstarters. I think I backed like 101 or 102. So I am very, very selective on who I back, why I back, and what I back. And I do a lot of people, and I'm exposed to a lot of things. So I'm very excited for this one. And there were 10 other projects that I could have backed, but I chose this one. So
yeah, appreciate it. And when you get your cards, let us know. Maybe we can hook something up to where we do some kind of. We'll get Shand on there to open up some of his cards, and
we'll get Noah on. It'll be fun.
Yeah, no, definitely. So,
but we do want to give you a chance to self-promote promote the Kickstarter. I put the link up there from what's coming out with Zenescope. Obviously, there's something going on tomorrow night. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I will try because I am going to be driving home, and I would like to remain in one piece. I don't want to be like, gotta buy my comics, book one.
We don't want that. Yeah, but if you're listening and you can check out the Fall Fest that's going on tomorrow, there's books on there you can only get through the stream. We're doing it 2 days in a row, right? So you can check in the next day, I think.
Is it 2 days? I thought it was one.
It might only be one. We changed the schedule so many times. It's been so weird doing these streams because during the pandemic we could do like an 8-hour stream straight on. Everybody was at home, and then it's like slowly trickled back. The last one we did was the horror one. I think we did in October was awesome, but we only did it for like an hour. I mean, it was almost straight sales. But yeah, we have that coming up. Like I said, look for some Kickstarters in the new year, especially the Tales of Terror one for the film, which we showed we shot the first part of that movie. A lot of changes. Like I said, we're moving into a new office. We'll have this new office has got a kind of you have to come down because it's got a nice showroom. It's got Connecticut's only a 4 or 5 hour drive, right?
Philly's like 3.
3, yeah. So, and it's gonna be really good for the VIPs and the people who want to come in. We got a lot of people coming in the office, and right now our office is terrible. So, that's a big announcement. It just is. It's morphed into something we never thought it would be when we started off small, and now we just have so much product. And so the new office is nice. There's a nice lounge area, showroom, all kinds of stuff. And what else is coming up? I think that's it. I mean, we'll have a couple. Black Friday's right around the corner. We got a bunch of great sales on the website for that. A bunch of promos. And then we'll roll into 2024, and it should be good.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to keep saying it is that you have to back things you like on Kickstarter. You have to back comics you like. I always say support indie. I think you guys are not so much indie anymore. I think that you're somewhat mainstream, but you still have to back product that you like in comics, whether it's mainstream. If you love a mainstream comic company, you should go out there and buy it and back it and tout it out. And same thing goes for Zenescope. And if you want to see more of a product, you need to buy it and you need to be supportive of it because it does make a huge difference. And there's a million ways how to do that. And let's say that cards are not your thing, but you're a fan of Zenescope. I think you can back a pretty low tier, and then you could get into backer kit for comics.
For sure, everything. Yeah, I think it's like $20 is the lowest tier, maybe even lower, 15. Just get a couple packs of cards, and then you can get all the stuff that's on backer kit.
And so that's something to just keep in mind too. Where I think there's 9 covers or more. I don't know. But
there's 12 total, I believe, between the variants. Because there's the regular and then the Z-rated. I think there's 12.
And then there's some metals too. There's some metals because I think
metal comics, metal cards. There's a lot of metal stuff.
So that's something to keep in mind. And you could have a good time with a magnet. Is all I'm going to say. Yeah, I'm so sorry. It's too easy. But yeah, so that's everything there. And then the links in the description down below or to the side or wherever else you're checking out. And then as far as I'm concerned, I am Pop Anime Comics on Twitter /X, Pop Anime Comics on Instagram, Pop Anime Comics on Facebook, Pop Anime Comics on YouTube. And about that, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have probably about 700 interviews And in Q1, between all my media accounts, including TikTok, which is Pop Anime Comics, I'm probably going to be producing 700 to 900 videos. So I'm coming out swinging. I'm coming out swinging, guys. So you're going to have a good time. And about 70% of that is already done and produced. So that's something to keep in mind, where I'm coming out swinging, and I'm really excited because I got a lot of content. And all I can say about my content is that I cannot promise that you'll get smarter. I can assure you, though.
You didn't tonight.
That is true too. Without a doubt.
I wasn't stealing any knowledge, but
without a doubt. But I can promise that you will be entertained. And so that's all I can assure you. And if you're not, well, I don't know what to tell you. You're just wrong. But enough about that. And I do want to give you the final word.
Cool. Yeah. Just check our stuff out at Zenescope.com. And we appreciate everybody who's backing it and who's following us and all our fans.
And I don't think I could have said that any better myself, everybody. And that is a wrap.